Imagine standing beneath a sky so clear that the stars seem endless, spilling from horizon to horizon like glowing sand scattered across an invisible beach. There's a hush in the air, not silence exactly, but the kind of quiet that feels alive. You tilt your head back, and for a moment, it's as if gravity loosens its hold. You're no longer standing on Earth. You're floating. Every point of light above you is a sun, every shimmer, a world, and together they form something vast and breathing, an ocean made of stars. Hey guys, tonight we're setting sail on that ocean. We're not just looking at constellations or a few bright dots in the night. We're entering the Milky Way itself, our home galaxy, the luminous spiral that cradles every story humanity has ever told. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And if you'd like, share your location and local time down in the comments. I love seeing where in this vast world you're listening from. Now if you're ready, let's begin. The Milky Way is our cosmic home, but it doesn't feel like home when you look at it. It feels too large, too beautiful, too far beyond the edges of comprehension. Yet, that shimmering band that arches over summer nights, the pale silver mist you can trace from Sagittarius to Cygnus, is nothing more and nothing less than the disk of our galaxy seen from within. You are standing on one of its spiral arms, halfway from the center to the rim, looking across its dense heart from the inside out. Every glow you see is a Sunday. Every shadow between them is dust gas distance, the thin veils that hide one star from another. For most of human history, people didn't know what the Milky Way really was. Ancient Greeks thought it was milk spilled by the goddess Hera, staining the heavens in a sudden burst of divine accident. In China, poets called it the Silver River, a celestial bridge separating two star-crossed lovers who could meet only once a year. In Arabia, it was the River of Heaven, a reminder of paradise glimmering far beyond reach. Every culture looked up at that same band of light and gave it a story, a meaning, a reason to dream. And yet all along it was, what we now know, a galaxy vast beyond imagining, made of hundreds of billions of suns and perhaps hundreds of billions of worlds. The name Milky Way comes from the Latin Via Lactea, the Milky Road. It's fitting because from where we stand, it looks like a trail of spilled light, a celestial path stretching forever. But what you see is only the faintest glimpse of its full shape. If we could rise far above the galactic plane and look down from the void, we would see a great spiral, elegant, immense, its arms sweeping out like waves curling from a central tide. It spans roughly 100,000 light-years from end to end. That means that even a beam of light, the fastest traveler in the universe, would take 100,000 years to cross it. Imagine a star born on one side, shining for millions of years, and its light never reaching the far edge before it dies. That's how big our home truly is. The scale defeats language. It's not something we measure, it's something we surrender to. Astronomers have tried to map the galaxy for centuries, but because we live inside it, the view is like trying to see the forest while standing among the trees. We can measure radio waves from distant clouds, trace the movements of stars, and infer the spiral arms like cartographers of fog. Still, our maps are incomplete. The Milky Way hides its secrets in its own dust, and light cannot always find a way through. And yet, through technology, we've begun to peel back the veil. Infrared telescopes reveal newborn stars cocooned in nebulae. Radio surveys chart the hydrogen gas that outlines the galaxy's great arms. X-ray observatories capture the energy flares of dead suns, neutron stars, and black holes that haunt its dark corridors. Every wavelength tells a different part of the story, like instruments in an orchestra, playing the same melody in different keys. Together, they create the music of the galaxy, silent to our ears, but full of motion, rhythm, and awe. As you listen tonight, imagine drifting between those stars. You're not a body anymore, not confined to Earth or time. You're a speck of awareness, carried on a slow current of starlight. Around you stretch rivers of suns, glowing islands of blue and gold nebulae that bloom like underwater coral. You pass through regions where light is thick with dust and color, then out into empty gulfs where the stars thin to a distant shimmer. In every direction the ocean continues, no surface, no shore, just the quiet hum of existence. The galaxy is old, about 13.6 billion years, nearly as old as the universe itself. Think about that. It began forming when the cosmos was young and hot, when the first stars were just kindling in the dark. Over time, smaller galaxies merged their stars, becoming part of this larger spiral. Their histories folded into ours. Every atom in your body, every breath you take, was once part of that journey. Iron in your blood was forged in dying stars. Calcium in your bones was born in stellar explosions. You are quite literally a fragment of the Milky Way that learned to look back at itself. There's something profoundly calming in that thought. You are not separate from the galaxy. You are one of its expressions, a brief flicker of awareness in an ongoing symphony of light. The same forces that swirl in distant nebulae also stir within you. Gravity, energy, memory, and motion. The universe folds itself into every cell of your being. When you breathe, you echo the slow pulse of the stars themselves. So as you lie here listening, let that image fill your mind, the Milky Way stretching across the sky, endless, shimmering, serene. You don't need to understand it. You don't need to measure it. Just feel it, the vastness, the quiet, the certainty that you belong to something immense and ancient. The ocean above you is the same ocean within you. Its waves are made of time and light, and tonight they are calm. Imagine drifting through that shining band we call the Milky Way, slowly turning like a small boat, carried on a current made not of water, but of light. Around you the darkness is never empty. It's filled with motion so gentle it almost feels like breathing. Every star is a ripple in that cosmic sea, every cluster a whirlpool of fire. We call it a galaxy, but from here it feels more like a river endlessly flowing across the heavens. The Milky Way is a spiral, yes, but to the eye of an observer on Earth, it appears as a luminous river crossing the night. It arcs from horizon to horizon, faint in city skies, radiant in wilderness. For ancient travelers, it was a celestial compass, a road of light pointing the way across deserts and oceans. To sailors in the southern hemisphere, it marked the turning of seasons. To shepherds in the north, it was a sign of time itself. Before telescopes, before science, humanity already knew what mattered most about the galaxy: that it moved, that it shimmered, and that it made us feel small in the best possible way. When we look closely, we begin to see its hidden structure. Our solar system orbits within one of its spiral arms, the Orion Arm, a smaller branch that lies between two great arms called Sagittarius and Perseus. Imagine these arms as immense trails of stars, tens of thousands of light years long, curling gracefully around a glowing center. Each arm is a nursery and a graveyard filled with both newborn suns and the ashes of those that have already died. Our star, the Sun, is one among hundreds of billions in this vast river. It drifts around the galactic center once every 230 million years. That means, since Earth formed, we've made only about 20 complete orbits. In all of human history, every civilization, every war, every song, we've moved less than a single degree along that enormous path. To live on Earth is to stand still while the galaxy slowly spins around us, a movement so grand that we can't feel it yet, one that shapes everything we are. Think of the gravity that binds all this together. Each star pulls on every other star, a web of attraction, stretching across unimaginable distances. It's not a chaotic swirl, but a kind of harmony. Gravity balances rotation. keeping the spiral arms intact, giving them their slow dance. If we could hear that motion, it might sound like a deep, endless chord, a sound too low for ears, but felt through the bones of the universe. Between the stars lies dust, fine, ancient matter that dims the light and paints the Milky Way's mottled patterns. Through telescopes, these dark lanes appear like rivers of smoke winding through the brilliance. They're not empty. They're the raw material for creation. From this dust, new stars are born, gathering the scattered remains of old suns. The galaxy is not static. It breathes. Every million years somewhere, a cloud collapses under its own weight and ignites into new light. Every heartbeat of the cosmos is a birth and a death intertwined. And beyond the stars, there are clusters, families of light traveling together for billions of years. Some are young and blue, their stars still burning hot. Others are ancient reddish, their light dimmed by time. They orbit like schools of fish in a boundless sea, drifting through the spiral arms, tracing invisible patterns across the galactic tide. If you could see from above, it would look like a slow whirl of glowing embers, graceful and quiet. Our ancestors looked up at that same glow, not knowing it was a galaxy, yet feeling something true about it, that it flowed. They called it a pathway for souls, a celestial river carrying the departed to the afterlife. Even in myth, we sensed the movement, a reminder that all things, even light itself, are part of a current that never stops. Modern astronomy confirms what they intuited. The Milky Way is not fixed. Its arms are density waves, regions where stars and gas bunch up, pass through, and drift onward. It's as if the galaxy is constantly playing a slow waltz, each star a dancer moving in and out of step, never standing still. Over cosmic time, arms shift, dissolve, reform, yet from our small perspective they appear eternal. The illusion of stillness is one of the universe's gentlest gifts, and at the scale of stars, even the smallest motion is immense. The sun moves at about 828,000 kilometers per hour around the galactic center, nearly 230 kilometers every second. Yet we feel none of it. The oceans don't ripple, the clouds don't drift faster, the ground doesn't tremble. We are passengers on a ship so vast that its voyage becomes invisible. That's what makes the Milky Way feel magical. It's always in motion, but its movement is softer than sleep. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine riding along one of those spiral arms. The stars blur into golden lines. Nebulae drift past like luminous fogs. Here and there you see storms of light, where clusters are forming regions so bright they could outshine entire constellations. Between them, the darkness is deep and endless. You pass by giant bubbles carved by ancient supernovas, their shockwaves expanding silently through the void. Each one marks where a star once lived and died, scattering the ingredients of future worlds. Somewhere within that quiet storm of motion lies Earth, circling its modest yellow star. From this vast perspective, we are a flicker inside a flicker, yet our awareness gives the galaxy meaning. For billions of years it spun unseen, unmeasured, unnamed. Then, one small species learned to look up and wonder. With that first act of curiosity, the Milky Way ceased to be just a structure of matter. It became a story, and we its storytellers. So as you breathe now, think of yourself as part of that river, not apart from it, but within it. Every atom in you once drifted through those same currents of gas and gravity. You are made of the Milky Way's ancient dust, polished by time into thought and feeling. The galaxy is not just out there. It is inside you, whispering in the pulse of your blood, in the rhythm of your heart. Let that realization wash over you like a tide. The stars are flowing, the galaxy turns, and you are carried with it quietly, gently, forever. When you stand beneath a sky filled with stars, it feels impossible to count them. Your eyes dart from one point of light to another, until the pattern breaks, overwhelmed by the sheer number. You try again tracing constellations, but there are too many. Even in one small patch of night, hundreds glimmer, thousands hide behind them, and millions beyond that shimmer unseen. The Milky Way, they say, holds hundreds of billions of stars, perhaps more. Yet that number doesn't truly mean anything to the human mind. It's too vast, too abstract, too gentle and enormous all at once. Tonight, let's try anyway. Let's try to count not with numbers, but with wonder. Imagine each star as a single grain of sand. Scoop up a handful from a beach that's 1,000 or so. Pour it through your fingers and imagine each one burning bright, each one with planets circling quietly around it. Now, imagine an entire bucket. That's 1,000,000, a truckload of sand, 1,000,000,000. But the Milky Way is not one truck or one beach. It's an entire coastline stretching for light years. There are more stars in our galaxy than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth combined. And that's just one galaxy among trillions. When astronomers began to measure the Milky Way, they faced the same problem you do when you stare at the night sky. There's too much light and too much darkness. Dust clouds block the view. Stars overlap. Distances blur. To make sense of it, they turned to radio telescopes, counting invisible hydrogen signals. Others used infrared, which can pierce through the dust. Piece by piece, they built a census of the stars, estimating that our galaxy holds between 100 and 400 billion suns. But even that range is uncertain, because for every star we see, there may be countless faint ones hiding in the shadows. Some of those unseen stars are dwarfs too dim to notice. Some are giants glowing far away, their light stretched and faded by time. Others are ghosts burned out, remnants of long-dead suns that still drift quietly through the dark, carrying the memory of light. The galaxy is a living record of birth and loss, and even the most powerful telescopes can only glimpse a fraction of its story. When you look up tonight, the stars you see are mostly within a few thousand light-years, a tiny neighborhood compared to the Milky Way's 100,000 light-year width. The rest lies hidden, unreachable to our eyes. If the galaxy were a city, we would see only the nearest streetlights, while the great avenues and towers beyond remain veiled in cosmic haze. And yet, that faint band across the sky, that soft milky glow, is the combined light of billions of suns, their radiance woven together like the surface of a silver sea. For astronomers, counting stars is a way of understanding not just numbers, but origins. Each one tells part of a larger pattern, where it was born, how it moves, how old it is. Young blue stars cluster in the spiral arms, burning bright and fast. Older red stars drift toward the center, their light dimmed by age. Together they trace the rhythm of the galaxy's life, like seasons in a cosmic year. The count is not just about how many exist, but about what their balance reveals, how the Milky Way grew, and how it continues to change. Some stars travel alone, wandering between the arms like solitary travelers. Others form families, binary systems, trios, whole clusters bound together by gravity's quiet pull. Many are accompanied by planets, moons, rings, comets, dust. Astronomers now believe that nearly every star has at least one planet, and many have more. That means our galaxy may hold not just hundreds of billions of stars, but hundreds of billions of worlds, each one turning, each one touched by sunlight of its own. Think about that for a moment. On one of those worlds, someone might be standing under a sky filled with their own Milky Way, wondering about you. The light that reaches your eyes tonight began its journey thousands of years ago, long before you were born. Some of those photons left their stars when humans were still painting caves, when mammoths still roamed the tundra. Others have been traveling since the first pyramids rose, since the first songs were sung. Each beam of starlight is a messenger from another time, a record of an instant that no longer exists, yet still glows on your skin. We try to measure that immensity with numbers billions, trillions, but the truth is beyond counting. The human mind isn't built for infinity. What it can grasp, though, is beauty. You can feel the vastness, even if you can't calculate it. When you look up and sense the weight of distance, the hush of time, what you're really counting is connection, the invisible threads that tie you to everything that shines. And maybe that's enough. Maybe counting the uncountable isn't about reaching a final number, but about understanding that you belong to something far greater than you can see. The galaxy doesn't care if we ever finish the count. It just keeps shining, each star doing what it has always done: burn, fade, and give light to the dark. So tonight, when you glance at the Milky Way, don't try to number its stars. Just breathe. Let your eyes wander. Each tiny spark is a story, each shimmer a reminder that you are part of this great ocean of light, a single thought flickering in the endless mind of the cosmos. And as you exhale, feel that quiet truth settle in. You are surrounded by billions of suns, and every one of them is whispering the same thing: you are not alone. If you could rise far above the Milky Way, higher than light itself could carry you, you would finally see what no human eye can ever witness directly: the shape of our home. From that impossible vantage point, the galaxy would unfold beneath you like a vast, glowing whirlpool, arms of starlight unfurling through the dark. It wouldn't be flat like a drawing, but alive and textured, a storm of light and shadow swirling in silent motion. That's the true face of the Milky Way, a spiral, elegant and infinite. For thousands of years we didn't know this. From Earth, the Milky Way appears as a hazy band stretching across the night. It feels like a wall, not a circle, like something that separates the heavens instead of enclosing them. But through the eyes of our telescopes, the illusion fades. Slowly, humanity pieced together the impossible picture. Radio waves revealed arms of hydrogen gas curving around a dense center. Infrared light traced newborn stars wrapped in dust. X-rays revealed the echoes of ancient explosions. Bit by bit, we built the image: a barred spiral, a majestic pinwheel spinning in cosmic darkness. The Milky Way's structure is vast, roughly 100,000 light-years across, but only about 1,000 light-years thick. Imagine a giant disk made of stars and gas thinner than a coin if scaled down to the size of your palm. At its heart lies a bright central bulge, home to millions of old stars, packed together so tightly that their combined glow becomes a radiant golden haze. Stretching outward from that core are the spiral arms winding like ribbons of smoke. Each arm is a nursery of creation. Dense clouds collapse to form stars which burn, die, and scatter new elements back into space. Astronomers have identified 4 main spiral arms: Perseus, Scutum, Centaurus, Sagittarius, and Norma, each a river of starlight and dust circling the core. Our Sun lies in a smaller bridge between 2 of them, the Orion arm about 26000 light-years from the center. That's where our story unfolds, in a quiet corner of a grand design, neither too close to the chaotic core, nor too far from its warmth. If the Milky Way were a vast city, we'd live in the glowing suburbs far from the crowded downtown, but still close enough to see its lights shimmer through the haze. The spiral pattern itself is not a fixed thing. It's a wave, a compression that moves through the galaxy, gathering stars and gas as it goes. The stars themselves drift in and out of the arms, like dancers moving through a current of music. Over time, the arms shift, stretch, and even fade, but the spiral remains a self-sustaining rhythm, written in the motion of gravity. To the eye of eternity, the Milky Way spins like a living organism, breathing through light and time. If you could watch it from afar, you'd see patterns of color woven through the spiral, The blue glow of young, hot stars, the soft amber of old giants, the pinkish shimmer of nebulae, where new stars are born. Between them lie dark bands, lanes of dust that absorb starlight, sculpting the galaxy's luminous shape. Those shadows are not empty. They're the wombs of future suns. The galaxy's beauty is built from balance between light and darkness, motion and stillness, creation and decay. At its center, a mystery waits. Sagittarius A times a supermassive black hole, more than 4 million times the mass of our Sun, anchors the entire system. We cannot see it directly, but we see its influence, the way stars whirl around it at terrifying speeds, the way clouds of gas flare with energy as they fall inward. And yet, despite its power, the galaxy does not collapse. The stars do not fall into the core. They orbit steady and serene, as if gravity and chaos have reached a quiet understanding. This spiral shape, this immense harmony, is the result of billions of years of cosmic history. The Milky Way began as a small, irregular cloud of gas, drawing in smaller galaxies through gravity. Each collision added new stars, new dust, new life to its structure. The spiral arms are the frozen traces of those ancient dances fossilized in motion. Even today, faint streams of stars trace where old companions were absorbed, reminders that our galaxy was born not from peace, but from beautiful collisions. When you look at the Milky Way on a clear night, you're seeing the spiral from within, like standing in the middle of a storm and watching the clouds spin overhead. The light appears soft because it is ancient, stretched across space and blurred by distance. You can't see its edges or its form, only its reflection against the darkness. Yet, every twinkle, every faint shimmer is a tiny part of that grand design. You're looking sideways through the arm you live in, glimpsing your own home from the inside out. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it, the galaxy turning slowly in the void, a swirl of luminous dust and fire, calm at its core, restless at its edges. It takes about 230 million years for our Sun to complete one orbit around the center, a single galactic year. Since the dinosaurs walked the Earth, we've only traveled a quarter of that circle. Since humans first lit fire, we've moved less than a fraction of a degree. And yet every instant we're in motion, spinning, orbiting, drifting through the spiral's endless arms. There's something comforting about that. Even when you feel still, you're part of a grand rotation carried along by forces that have turned for billions of years. You don't have to do anything. You're already moving with the stars. So tonight, as you lie beneath the sky, imagine yourself hovering above it all, high enough to see the Milky Way as it truly is. A cosmic flower, petals of light curling outward into eternity. The hidden spiral turning slowly, quietly, forever. Let that image stay with you as you drift towards sleep, that you live inside something beautiful, something vast, something that keeps turning, whether you're awake or dreaming. You are not outside the galaxy watching. You are inside its breath, part of its motion carried on its invisible tide. And in that endless motion there is peace. Imagine yourself sinking inward, away from the quiet suburbs of the Orion Arm, toward the glowing heart of the Milky Way. The further you go, the thicker the light becomes. Stars crowd closer, their radiance blending into a golden haze that fills all directions. Dust swirls between them like smoke, veiling their brightness in shadowy rivers. The black of space softens into deep amber. Ahead, at the very core, something waits, vast, silent and unseen, the beating heart of our galaxy. This place is called Sagittarius A*. It lies 26000 light-years from Earth, hidden behind dense veils of gas and dust. Astronomers can't see it directly, but they can feel its gravity, a pull so powerful that nearby stars whirl around it at speeds of millions of kilometers per hour. These stars trace invisible orbits, like glowing fireflies, around an unseen flame, revealing what lurks at the center, a supermassive black hole 4 million times the mass of our Sunday. For most of history, we didn't even know such things could exist. To ancient astronomers, the galactic center was a blank space, a mystery of light swallowed by darkness. Even in the 20th century, black holes were considered mathematical curiosities impossible to confirm. Then came the data radio waves, X-rays, infrared images, all pointing to something dense, heavy, and inescapable. In 2022, the Event Horizon Telescope finally captured its shadow, a blurry ring of fire, surrounding a hole of absolute night. It wasn't just proof of a black hole, it was a photograph of gravity itself. But what is it, really? A black hole is not a thing, but a region of space where gravity has collapsed so completely that nothing, not even light, can escape. Imagine compressing the entire sun into a sphere only a few kilometers wide. Now multiply that power by millions. At the heart of Sagittarius, A times matter is crushed beyond recognition. Time slows, and the very fabric of space bends inward. To fall into it would be to vanish from the universe, not destroyed, but erased your past and future fused into a single silent point. Yet this darkness is not death, it is creation. Around the black hole swirls an accretion disk, a glowing whirlpool of gas and dust, heated to millions of degrees as it spirals inward. Magnetic storms lash out from its edges, and flares of energy burst into space. Sometimes, entire stars wander too close, torn apart by tidal forces, their remnants feeding the black hole's hunger. For a brief time, the core of the Milky Way blazes brighter than any sun, a cosmic heartbeat that echoes across light years. And then, silence again. The stars that orbit nearby live fast and fierce. In this dense environment, stellar nurseries bloom and fade quickly. Massive blue giants ignite and die, within millions of years leaving behind neutron stars and black holes of their own. The center of the galaxy is both cradle and grave, a place where light and darkness entwine. It's easy to think of it as violent, but from another angle, it's balanced an engine of transformation, endlessly recycling matter and energy into new forms. Scientists suspect that nearly every large galaxy harbors a supermassive black hole like ours. Some, like the one in Messier 87, are so active they shoot jets of radiation across thousands of light years, carving lines of light into the cosmic night. Ours, by contrast, is quiet, a sleeping giant. It occasionally flares, releasing bursts of X-rays, but for the most part it dozes, pulling gently at the stars that circle it. If you could drift near its event horizon, the world would warp around you. Starlight would bend into rings, time would stretch until seconds felt eternal. Yet even there, you would not hear a sound. The universe's loudest forces are completely silent. Around the black hole, star clusters orbit like pearls on invisible strings. Their combined light forms the glowing bulge we see in the night sky near the constellation Sagittarius. This region is so dense that if you were standing on a planet, there the sky would never be dark. Thousands of stars would shine at once, close enough to cast shadows upon one another. The night would shimmer in perpetual twilight. No sunrise, no sunset, only light and more light. And somewhere inside that brilliance, gravity hums patient, constant, perfect. It's easy to imagine the galaxy's heart as destructive, but it's also what holds everything together. Without it, the stars would drift apart, the spiral arms unraveling into chaos. The black hole's pull keeps the Milky Way's rhythm steady like the deep drum in a cosmic orchestra. It doesn't command with sound or motion, but with presence, invisible, immense, always there. Every orbit, every flicker of light in the galaxy is tuned to this silent center. Even here, where you rest tonight, on a small planet, orbiting a small star, you are connected to it. Your atoms respond faintly to that same gravity. The iron in your blood, born in ancient supernovas near the core, still carries the memory of that central fire. You are not separate from the heart of the Milky Way. You are one of its heartbeats. Close your eyes and imagine it now. The golden whirl of stars circling a shadow. The glow of matter falling inward, like sparks into a deep eternal breath. It is not frightening, it is beautiful. It is the galaxy remembering itself. And as you drift towards sleep, feel that gravity within you, the same quiet pull that keeps worlds in orbit, the same calm rhythm that holds galaxies together. The universe expands endlessly, but it also folds gently inward, gathering everything it loves back to the center. That is the secret of the Milky Way's heart, not destruction but return. Imagine a dark cloud hanging in space, vast, silent, almost invisible. It looks empty, but inside it is crowded with atoms drifting, colliding, and clinging together. Over millions of years, those collisions build pressure. Gravity, patient and quiet, begins to gather everything inward. The cloud trembles, folds upon itself, and at its center something begins to glow. From that first spark, a star is born. This is how every sunrise begins, not on Earth but in the wombs of galaxies. The Milky Way is full of these stellar nurseries, hidden deep within its spiral arms. They appear as dark patches when viewed in visible light, but in infrared, they shimmer vast nebulae of gas and dust glowing softly in the cold. They are the galaxy's secret gardens, where light itself grows. If you could float inside one, you wouldn't see stars immediately. It would be like drifting through fog, thick and shimmering. Dust motes, the size of molecules, would swirl around you, each one made from the ashes of ancient stars: carbon, silicon, iron, and ice. Every fragment carries the memory of an older sun that once lived, died, and scattered its remains into the void. From these remnants, new stars rise. Creation and destruction are not opposites in the galaxy. They are partners. In one corner of the Milky Way lies the Orion Nebula, a glowing cloud, only 1300 light-years away, visible even to the naked eye. It's one of the most active star-forming regions near us, a living laboratory of birth. Through a telescope, it looks like a luminous blossom, pinks, purples, and blues, swirling in a haze of light. Deep inside it, stars are being born right now, their light still struggling to break free of the dust. If you could stand there, you'd see entire solar systems forming disks of gas swirling around newborn suns. Each grain of dust, a potential seed for a planet. And this process isn't rare. Across the Milky Way, thousands of such regions flicker in and out of existence. Some, like the Eagle Nebula, form towering columns of gas known as the Pillars of Creation. Others, like the Carina Nebula, stretch for hundreds of light-years home to stars far larger than our Sunday. These stellar giants burn furiously, pouring out light and radiation that carve intricate shapes into the surrounding clouds. Their brilliance both creates and destroys the energy from one generation of stars, triggering the birth of the next. Every element heavier than hydrogen or helium was forged in the hearts of stars. Carbon for your body, calcium for your bones, oxygen for your breath, all were born in furnaces, billions of degrees, hot. When those stars exploded as supernovas, they cast their enriched contents into space, seeding the galaxy with the ingredients for life. The dust we see today is not lifeless matter. It is potential waiting to be reignited. Sometimes the process begins again in the most unlikely places. Shock waves from nearby supernovas can compress the surrounding gas, creating new pockets of collapse. It's as if the death cry of one star becomes the lullaby for another. In the cosmic rhythm, endings are beginnings whispered backward. The Milky Way never sleeps, it only transforms. Our sun too was born in such a cloud, about 4.6 billion years ago. Scientists believe it formed within a cluster of sibling stars, perhaps 1,000 of them that slowly drifted apart over time. Those long-lost siblings now wander the galaxy separately, their light scattered across thousands of light years. Somewhere out there, they still shine, carrying the same molecular fingerprints as the Sunday. If you could trace their paths, you'd find that the atoms in your body are cousins to those burning in distant stars. In this way, we are not just made of stardust, we are made from shared stardust. The carbon in your breath may have once been part of a nebula, like Orion's warmed by a blue giant that burned out billions of years ago. The iron in your blood may have come from a supernova near the galactic core. You are a mosaic of ancient stars, reassembled into consciousness, remembering its origins every time you look up. Inside these nebulae, stars are born in silence. There's no explosion, no flash, just a slow warming, a deepening of glow. When the core of a forming star reaches about 10 million degrees, nuclear fusion ignites, and hydrogen atoms begin merging into helium. The new star stabilizes, finding balance between gravity pulling inward and radiation pushing outward. It will stay in this harmony for billions of years, shining quietly into the dark. And when you think about it, that is the story of life itself. Gravity and light, in balance, chaos, finding order. We are the same. We collapse, we struggle, we ignite, and eventually we shine. Now imagine drifting through one of those birthplaces, through the pillars and filaments, through the glowing gas that wraps around you like a slow-moving tide. You see stars flickering faintly through the mist, each one a beginning. Some are only a few thousand years old, barely out of the womb of their nebula. Others have already cleared their surroundings, their light cutting paths through the fog. It's a cosmic nursery, where everything breathes together: dust, gas, light, and silence. In time, these stars will drift apart, scattering across the galaxy. Some will host worlds with oceans and skies. Others will burn too fiercely for life. But all of them will contribute to the endless cycle, feeding the galaxy's veins with light and dust. From one generation to the next, the Milky Way keeps its quiet rhythm. The next time you see a faint mist of stars on a summer night, remember this: every shimmer is a child of dust, every glow a new beginning. The universe is still creating itself, one soft spark at a time. And perhaps somewhere deep within that cosmic fog, another star is forming right now, one that will someday host life dreams, or a mind looking back through the dark and wondering, as you are now, how something so infinite could also feel like home. Imagine for a moment that you are floating far above the Milky Way, looking down at the glowing whirlpool of light. Between the spiraling arms, you notice a small, quiet patch, halfway from the center to the edge. There, gently turning within a band of starlight, lies a tiny yellow star, surrounded by 8 planets and countless fragments of rock and ice. That is our home, the solar system, just one address among hundreds of billions scattered through this vast cosmic city. Our sun is an ordinary star. By galactic standards, a modest sphere of light tucked within the Orion Arm, one of the Milky Way's smaller branches. We are about 26,000 light-years from the center and 27,000 from the outer rim, balanced between the galaxy's heart and its horizon. If the Milky Way were a great metropolis, the galactic core would be its luminous downtown packed with energy and motion, while our region would be the quiet suburbs, calm, stable, and beautifully ordinary. And yet from here, that ordinariness feels miraculous. Every day, our star's light travels across 150 million kilometers to touch Earth, a beam of energy that began in a nuclear furnace deep within the sun's core. That same light, if left unimpeded, would take more than 8 minutes to reach us, and another one, 0.00000 years, to cross the Milky Way. It reminds us that our lives unfold in the briefest blink of galactic time. Our local neighborhood isn't empty. It's filled with other stars drifting slowly through space, each carrying its own stories. The nearest one, Proxima Centauri, lies just 4.24 light-years away, close by, in cosmic terms, yet so far that it would take our fastest spacecraft over 70,000 years to reach it. Around it orbits an Earth-sized planet, perhaps rocky, perhaps cold, perhaps waiting in silence. Beyond it lie thousands of other suns, forming what astronomers call the local bubble, a cavity of hot, thin gas about 1,000 light-years wide that cradles our solar system like a soft cocoon. This bubble, scientists believe, was carved long ago by ancient supernovas, massive stellar explosions that cleared away the surrounding dust. The shockwaves from those deaths sculpted the environment we live in today. So even here in this peaceful region, the echoes of ancient destruction still shape our lives. The atoms in our atmosphere may once have belonged to those vanished stars scattered and reassembled in new forms. Surrounding us are small star clusters, drifting companions that trace the structure of the Orion Arm. Some are newly born glowing blue, wrapped in clouds of gas. Others are ancient and fading, their stars turning red and cool. Through telescopes we can see them shimmering like lanterns marking the invisible roads of the galaxy. When you gaze up at the night sky, some of those points of light belong to these neighbors burning quietly just a few hundred light-years away. The nearest large cluster of stars is the Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters. To the naked eye, they appear as a tiny, misty group near the constellation Taurus. In reality, they are over 400 light-years away, and each of those 7 bright stars is hundreds of times more luminous than our Sunday. The ancients watched them rise and set, marking the change of seasons. Sailors used them to navigate oceans. Poets wove them into myths of loss and reunion. Even across cultures, the Pleiades have always reminded us of kinship. 7 lights bound together, traveling side by side through eternity. If you continue looking outward, you'll find more neighbors, the Hyades, the Perseus Arm, and beyond that, the faint glow of the galactic outskirts. Closer to home lies another quiet companion, the Alpha Centauri system, a trio of stars that includes Proxima and 2 suns that orbit each other in a slow, graceful dance. It is likely that planets circle them too, perhaps with skies tinged orange or crimson under twin sunsets. For now they remain unreachable, but one day our descendants may stand on their soil and look back at the sun, seeing it as just another spark in the Milky Way's river of light. Our neighborhood also includes things we rarely think about: drifting asteroids, comets, clouds of interstellar gas, and rogue planets wandering between stars without homes of their own. The space between these objects isn't empty. It hums with radiation, magnetic fields, and particles from old supernovas. Every breath of cosmic wind carries traces of what came before the dust of creation, endlessly recycling. In this part of the galaxy, life found a balance. We are far enough from the chaotic center to avoid frequent collisions with other stars or dangerous radiation. Yet we are close enough to regions rich in heavy elements, the ingredients of planets and biology. It's a rare, fortunate position, not too crowded, not too empty. A quiet corner where evolution had time to unfold undisturbed. If the sun had formed nearer the galactic center, Earth might never have known peace. If it had formed farther out, perhaps there wouldn't have been enough metal to make worlds like ours. We exist in a very literal sense, in the Goldilocks zone of the galaxy. And though our view seems vast, we are still surrounded by unseen neighbors. In the night sky with a telescope, you can find double stars, orbiting each other's systems with entire families of planets and glowing remnants of ancient deaths. The Milky Way is alive with motion, a slow tide of stars drifting around the core, each one carrying its own story. We are part of that tide, moving quietly, unaware. Sometimes late at night, when the sky is clear and the Milky Way arches overhead, it helps to remember that we are not adrift in chaos. We belong to a community, a galactic family bound by gravity and time. Every light you see is a companion. Every flicker is a neighbor saying hello across the void. So as you rest tonight, picture the solar system as a small house on a quiet street, nestled among billions of others in a shining city that never sleeps. Out there, stars are born, die and rise again. But here for now, our home glows softly in the dark, a single window lit within the vast, breathing neighborhood of the Milky Way. And perhaps somewhere, another being is looking up from their own world, seeing our sun as just a faint star in their sky, wondering the same thing you are now. Who else is out there sharing this great cosmic address? If you close your eyes and imagine moving through the Milky Way, you might picture yourself gliding effortlessly through fields of starlight, passing suns and nebulae, as though swimming through a sea of gold. But the truth is far slower and far stranger. Even at the speed of light, the journey would take 1,000,000 years from one side of our galaxy to the other. That number sits in the mind like a mountain. 100 millennia, 10,000 generations, and still you would only have crossed the quiet spiral we call home. The distances within the Milky Way are so vast that human words shrink in their presence. We measure them not in kilometers or miles, but in light years. The distance light travels in 1 year, about 9.5 trillion kilometers. At that scale, even our fastest spacecraft crawl like snails. Voyager 1, humanity's farthest traveler, has been moving through space for nearly 5 decades, and it has only just stepped beyond the edge of our solar system, a mere fraction of a light year. In the time it takes light to cross the galaxy, Voyager would barely move a pixel in comparison. So how do we even imagine the scale of something that takes light itself 100,000 years to traverse? The answer is, we don't measure it with machines, we measure it with wonder. Astronomers use the speed of light as a kind of ruler for cosmic distances. When you look up at a star, you are not seeing it as it is now, but as it was when its light began the journey to your eyes. The starlight that reaches you tonight may have left its source when early humans were still drawing on cave walls. The faint glow of distant nebulae may have started its voyage before the first forests grew on Earth. Every night sky is not a picture, it's a memory, a time machine made of light. If you could ride one of those beams, if you could travel at the speed of light itself, you would see the galaxy unfold in a blur of silver and fire. Stars would stretch into streaks, colors would shift, time would slow, until seconds and centuries blended together. But even at that unimaginable velocity, you would still be bound by the limits of space. It would take you 2,6,000 years just to reach the galactic center to glimpse the quiet heart of Sagittarius A*. 100,000 more to cross from one rim of the spiral to the other, and then you would look back, and the Milky Way, our home, would appear as a single soft disk suspended in darkness, glowing like a pearl. From that distance, it would be impossible to believe that every atom of your body, every story of your species, came from inside that fragile whirl of light. You would see how small we truly are, and how beautiful smallness can be. The stars themselves don't feel this distance. They move through the galaxy at hundreds of kilometers per second, tracing orbits shaped by gravity's invisible hand. Our sun drifts along its path, like a leaf on a slow-moving current, pulling Earth and all her companions along with it. We are part of a great migration, a spiral tide of stars, moving as one vast organism through space. We do not notice the motion because we are inside it. The universe is not a road we travel on, it's an ocean we float within. Sometimes late at night, you can feel it if you're quiet enough, that subtle sense that everything is moving, that even when you stand perfectly still, you are racing through space faster than thought. The Earth spins at 1600 kilometers per hour. The planet orbits the Sun at 108,000. The Sun orbits the galaxy at 828,000. Yet, you feel nothing. You are weightless in motion like a dream traveling inside another dream. Light, the fastest thing we know, is still too slow to make the galaxy feel small. If you could somehow send a message, a radio wave, a beam, a whisper of energy from one end of the Milky Way to the other, no one would hear it for 1,000,000 years. Civilizations could rise and vanish in that silence. Stars could be born and die while your signal was still crossing the void. That is the strange poetry of distance, that in the same galaxy time can separate us more than space ever could. And yet in our minds, we can cross it instantly. Thought is faster than light because it is not bound by it. You can imagine the galactic core, and in the same breath, the farthest rim. You can hold the entire Milky Way in your consciousness, folded neatly behind your eyelids. That's the miracle of being alive. The universe built something small enough to fit inside its own vastness and still be aware of it. The Milky Way humbles every measurement we can make. Even its thickness, a mere 1,000 light-years, is beyond anything we will ever traverse. Its stars spread across unimaginable distances still manage to move together, bound by gravity's soft insistence. It is as if the galaxy were one single living being, and we are one of its cells, unaware of the whole, but essential to it nonetheless. If you stood on a world near the edge of the galaxy and looked inward, you'd see the Milky Way as a glowing spiral spanning your sky arms, curling around a golden center. From there, you might wonder what lies beyond it: other galaxies, other spirals, other hearts of darkness and light. You'd realize that the same question we ask here is asked there too, under different suns in different tongues. How vast is it? How far does it go? And perhaps that is the quiet lesson the galaxy offers us, that vastness is not something to be conquered, but something to be accepted. You don't need to cross it to belong to it. You already do. So as you lie back and listen to the hum of the night, remember this: you are traveling already. Every second you are crossing space faster than you can imagine. Every breath you take is part of a voyage that began billions of years ago and will continue long after you are gone. You are not standing still under the stars. You are moving with them, carried at the speed of thought through an endless ocean of light. When people imagine the Milky Way, they often picture it as a lone spiral drifting through empty space, turning in perfect solitude. But in truth, our galaxy is not alone. Around it orbit a faint family of smaller galaxies, delicate companions that travel with us through the cosmic dark. They are too dim to see with the naked eye, but they're there, circling slowly, their stars bound by our galaxy's quiet pull. The Milky Way, like most great spirals, has satellites, and together they move as one enormous gravitational ballet. The largest of these companions are the Magellanic Clouds, two irregularly shaped galaxies visible from the southern hemisphere. To someone standing beneath the skies of Chile or Australia, they appear as misty smudges, not stars, not clouds, but something in between. For centuries, sailors on southern seas used them to guide their way long before telescopes revealed their true nature. Each is filled with billions of stars, star-forming regions and nebulae. They orbit the Milky Way like wandering lanterns, sometimes close, sometimes drifting, farther away, caught in an endless loop of attraction and release. The Large Magellanic Cloud lies about 16,000,000 light-years away, while its smaller sibling, the Small Magellanic Cloud, sits at about 2,000,000. They are our nearest galactic neighbors, forever pulled by our gravity, yet still independent enough to hold their own orbits. Over the next billions of years, they may merge into the Milky Way, torn apart and absorbed into our spiral arms, their stars becoming ours, their histories folded into our own. In a sense, they are the future bones of our galaxy, waiting to become part of something larger. But these clouds are not alone. There are at least 50 known dwarf galaxies orbiting the Milky Way, scattered across a halo that stretches hundreds of thousands of light-years beyond what we can see. Most are faint, fragile, and easily overlooked, their light barely detectable against the background of space. Some, like the Sagittarius dwarf elliptical galaxy, are already in the process of being devoured by our own. Its stars form a great tidal stream, wrapping around the Milky Way like a shimmering ribbon. Through telescopes, astronomers can trace this cosmic scar, the ghostly remnant of a galaxy slowly dissolving into ours. Each of these smaller companions carries its own history. Some are ancient, filled with stars that have been burning since the early universe. Others are surprisingly young, still forming new suns from leftover gas. Their shapes vary: spheres, ovals, fragments, each sculpted by the tug of gravity and time. They are like fossils of the universe's earliest days, orbiting silently witnesses to the Milky Way's long evolution. Our galaxy's gravitational field extends far beyond its visible disk, creating a vast invisible cocoon that holds these companions in place. Imagine a spiderweb woven of gravity itself, each strand vibrating with motion. The dwarf galaxies cling to this web, orbiting slowly, sometimes colliding, sometimes torn apart. Every few billion years, one is pulled too close and shredded, its stars scattering through the halo, adding to the Milky Way's mass. It's a quiet process, but not a cruel one. In the universe, even destruction is just another form of creation. Some of these dwarves are so faint they contain only a few million stars, a whisper compared to the hundreds of billions in the Milky Way. Yet their presence is crucial. They act as clues, helping astronomers map the dark matter that surrounds our galaxy. By tracing their orbits, we can sense the invisible, the unseen halo of dark mass that binds everything together. Without these companions, we might never have realized how much of the Milky Way's true weight lies in the things we cannot see. If you could look at our galaxy from far away, you would see it surrounded by this faint halo of companions, a constellation of smaller lights, encircling a grand spiral. They are like moons around a planet, or satellites around a star. Some shine softly, some are barely there, but together they complete the Milky Way's portrait. They remind us that nothing in the cosmos exists entirely alone. Even galaxies have families, relationships, and gravity's embrace. The Magellanic Clouds, in particular, are astonishingly beautiful. Through telescopes, their star-forming regions glow like watercolor stains. The Tarantula Nebula in the Large Magellanic Cloud is one of the most active nurseries in the local universe. Their stars, dozens of times the mass of our Sun, are born in clusters so dense they could light entire regions of space. When these stars die, they will explode as supernovas, sending shockwaves that trigger new generations of stars. The process never ends. It only changes form. In time, these clouds will draw closer to us. Their orbits are decaying as they lose energy to gravitational tides. One day, billions of years from now, they'll merge with the Milky Way in a slow, silent collision. It won't be violent. Space is mostly empty, but it will be transformative. Our galaxy will absorb their stars, expanding and brightening its spiral arms, enriched with new material. The night sky will glow differently, then filled with unfamiliar constellations. But the story will be the same, one of gravity's gentle persistence, one of endless becoming. Even the faintest companions matter. Their quiet motion speaks of connection, the invisible bonds that tie everything together. You and I, the Sun and its planets, the Milky Way and its satellites, all are held in the same embrace, orbiting unseen centers, bound by forces older than memory. So tonight, If you find yourself under a southern sky, look for those pale clouds near the horizon. They may look like mere wisps, but they are galaxies, travelers, companions, friends, following us through the dark. Their light left them long before the first humans ever looked up, and yet it still finds its way to your eyes, whispering across time. You are not alone in the universe. Even galaxies travel together, and perhaps that is the quietest comfort of all, that the cosmos, for all its vastness, still moves in companionship. Imagine standing on the edge of the Milky Way, looking outward into the dark. You might expect to see stars thinning into emptiness, a slow fade into nothing. But if your eyes could see the invisible, you would find that even here, the galaxy is not alone. It is wrapped in a vast, transparent halo, an unseen structure of unimaginable size, stretching far beyond the furthest stars. This is the hidden skeleton of our galaxy dark matter. No one has ever seen it directly. It doesn't shine, it doesn't reflect light, and it cannot be touched. Yet we know it's there because of what it does. The stars at the edge of the Milky Way move far faster than they should, too fast to be held by the gravity of visible matter alone. Something unseen holds them in place, a silent glue binding the galaxy together. That's something we call dark matter. Scientists estimate that for every gram of ordinary matter, every atom that makes up stars, planets, and people, there are 5 grams of this invisible kind. That means that most of the Milky Way's mass, and most of the universe itself, is made of something we cannot see. The galaxy we know, the spiral of stars and dust, is only the visible surface of a much deeper reality. We live inside an invisible ocean, and our star is just one tiny spark drifting in its currents. If we could somehow paint the dark matter the night sky would change completely. You would see immense filaments stretching across space, connecting galaxies like threads in a web. These cosmic filaments form the large-scale structure of the universe, a pattern so vast that galaxies appear as glittering beads along invisible strings. The Milky Way hangs on one of those threads, linked by gravity to billions of others. Between the filaments lie cosmic voids, regions so empty that a single atom could drift for miles before meeting another. This web is ancient. It was woven just after the Big Bang, when tiny variations in density grew under gravity's pull. Over billions of years, dark matter gathered into halos, drawing in gas and dust to form the first galaxies. Without it, stars might never have found each other. Worlds might never have formed. Dark matter is not just background. It is the stage upon which the universe performs. We still don't know what it is. Some believe it's made of WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, particles that rarely collide with ordinary matter. Others think it may be something stranger, perhaps axions or a property of space itself. We have built detectors deep underground in mountains and mines, waiting for one of these invisible particles to pass through. So far, none has revealed itself. But even in its silence, dark matter leaves its fingerprints everywhere, in the way galaxies spin, in the way light bends around invisible masses, in the rhythm of the cosmos itself. Gravitational lensing offers one of the most beautiful proofs of its presence. When light from a distant galaxy passes near a massive object, gravity bends that light like a lens, distorting the image. Astronomers see arcs and rings of light in the sky, the stretched reflections of faraway galaxies. These patterns map out the distribution of dark matter, tracing its hidden shape. It's as if the universe is whispering, "You can't see me, but you can see my shadow." Our Milky Way's halo of dark matter extends at least 1 million light-years from its center, 10 times the width of the visible disk. Every star, every planet, even the space between moves within that invisible field. It is what keeps our galaxy intact as it drifts through space, and what binds it to the local group, our small community of neighboring galaxies that includes Andromeda and the Magellanic Clouds. The gravity of dark matter forms the invisible architecture of this galactic family, holding the universe together in a quiet embrace. It's strange to think that the very thing keeping us here is something we cannot touch or see. But perhaps that's the universe's most poetic trick. The strongest forces are the ones we never notice. Like love, or time, or memory, dark matter shapes everything without ever revealing itself. It asks us to trust in what we cannot see and to accept that invisibility does not mean absence. If you could travel beyond the Milky Way and look back, you would see not just a spiral of stars, but a shimmering ghost of gravity surrounding it, a vast halo of substance without light. It would ripple faintly like the surface of a pond disturbed by unseen wind. This invisible halo holds not only our galaxy, but others nearby, weaving them into a single tapestry of motion. In this way, the Milky Way is part of something far larger, an interconnected network of galaxies bound by the unseen. Sometimes when we talk about dark matter, it sounds cold or mechanical, but it is anything but. It is the quiet harmony that allows the universe to exist in balance. Without it, galaxies would fly apart, stars would wander alone, and space itself might unravel. The darkness, it turns out, is not our enemy. It is our foundation. As you drift towards sleep tonight, think of that everything you know, everything you love, is held together by something invisible, something ancient, something that has no name other than dark. And yet within that darkness, there is structure and grace and meaning. We live surrounded by the unseen, carried through space by a web we cannot perceive. It moves through us, through the earth, through the stars. It is in every direction, constant and calm, older than the galaxies it holds. The universe rests upon it, like a ship upon the sea. And so perhaps when you close your eyes and feel the weight of the night around you, remember that darkness isn't empty. It's what keeps the light from falling apart. The Milky Way looks serene tonight, a gentle river of light crossing the heavens, smooth, calm, eternal. But behind that calm lies a long history of chaos. Our galaxy, like every living thing in the universe, was not born in peace. It was shaped by collisions, ancient titanic encounters between galaxies that merged, broke apart, and rebuilt themselves in silence. Every star you see is part of that story. Every shimmer of light is a survivor of cosmic violence softened by time. Billions of years ago, when the universe was young, galaxies were smaller, closer, and hungrier. They collided like waves in a restless sea, merging to become something greater. The Milky Way began as one of those small proto-galaxies gathering gas, dust, and stars with each encounter. Over time, gravity drew in companions, dwarf galaxies that were torn apart and absorbed their stars, scattered into our growing spiral. Each collision left ripples behind, patterns written in the movement of stars that astronomers can still trace today. If you could see the Milky Way from far away, you would notice faint ghost-like streams of stars flowing around it, delicate arcs that wrap the galaxy like ribbons. These are tidal streams, the remains of galaxies long consumed. The most famous of them, the Sagittarius Stream, stretches across the sky, wrapping around us twice. It is the remnant of the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy, which wandered too close and was torn apart by our gravity. Its stars now mingle with ours, indistinguishable from the rest. Every time you look up at the Milky Way, you are seeing the light of stars born in another galaxy, now part of our own. These mergers happen slowly over billions of years. When galaxies collide, their stars rarely crash head-on. The distances between them are too great. Instead, they pass through one another, their shapes distorted by gravity's pull. Clouds of gas, however, do collide, compressing and igniting new waves of starbirth. So, paradoxically, destruction creates light. The chaos of impact gives birth to beauty, a rebirth written in the glow of newborn suns. Our galaxy still carries the scars of those encounters. Astronomers mapping the Milky Way's halo have found clusters and streams of stars moving in synchronized paths, fossils of long-lost galaxies. By studying their orbits, scientists can reconstruct the collisions that built our spiral over 13 billion years. It's like reading the rings of a tree, except the rings are made of starlight. Each one tells of a time when another galaxy fell into our embrace. The most dramatic of these ancient mergers may have occurred around 10 billion years ago, when the Milky Way collided with a massive system now called Gaia Enceladus. The crash reshaped our galaxy, thickening its disk and giving rise to millions of new stars. The remnants of that ancient galaxy still move among us today, their distinct orbits marking them as visitors from another age. Every atom of our galactic structure, from the bulge at the center to the stars in the halo, bears their fingerprint. Even now, the Milky Way continues to grow by consuming smaller galaxies. The large and small Magellanic Clouds, our luminous southern companions, are slowly being drawn inward. Over the next few billion years, their stars will merge, with ours adding their own history to our spiral. The Milky Way is not a static picture. It's a living system, always in motion, always evolving. And far away on the horizon of time, a far greater collision awaits. In about 4.5 billion years, the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy will meet. The two spirals are already drifting toward each other at over 4,000,000 kilometers per hour. When they touch, their stars will weave together like strands of silk. Some will be flung into intergalactic space, others will find new homes. The night sky then will bloom with brilliance. Vast arcs of light, glowing clouds of dust, galaxies folding into one another like petals. From destruction, a new form will emerge, a massive elliptical galaxy, bright and calm, where once there were two. You might think of collisions as violent, but in the slow rhythm of the cosmos, they are graceful. Each merger takes billions of years, long enough for new stars to form, planets to rise, and life to appear and vanish many times over. The universe never hurries. It rebuilds itself in slow motion, sculpting galaxies the way rivers carve valleys, patiently, beautifully, inevitably. When you look at the Milky Way's soft glow, you're seeing not just the present, but the residue of those long-ago unions. The dust that dims the stars, the spiral arms that shimmer in silver light, even the sun itself, all are the results of those collisions. We are built from remnants. The calm we see today is simply the pause between one great transformation and the next. There's something deeply comforting in that. Our galaxy's past was violent, its future uncertain, but here in this moment it rests in balance. We are living in one of its quiet breaths. Between storms of creation, the universe gives us peace, a rare stillness in which to notice what it has made. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture two galaxies, meeting in the dark, their stars blending their dust, swirling like mist in a slow, luminous dance. There is no explosion, no sound, only gravity drawing light into new shapes. Somewhere within that glow, new suns are forming their light, destined to reach beings yet unborn. That's what the Milky Way truly is, the memory of collisions turned into harmony. Every point of light in the sky is a note from that ancient symphony still resonating through time. And as you drift towards sleep, remember, even chaos can become beauty. And from the wreckage of old worlds, new ones are always born. In the silence of deep space, where no air carries sound and no breeze stirs, the dust, the universe still trembles. It hums, but not in any way your ears could hear. This hum is older than light itself, older than stars, the quiet rippling of space and time. These are gravitational waves, the soft echoes of the universe moving, bending, and breathing. If light shows us what the cosmos looks like, then gravity tells us how it feels. Einstein predicted these waves more than a century ago, imagining that space and time were not separate things, but a single fabric space-time, capable of stretching and flexing. When something massive moves, when two black holes collide, or a pair of neutron stars spin together, that fabric ripples outward, like the surface of a pond after a stone falls in. Those ripples travel across the universe, carrying information about what created them. Every galaxy, every atom, even the air around you vibrates faintly with those passing waves. But these tremors are unimaginably delicate. When they reach Earth, they stretch and compress everything by less than the width of a proton. Detecting them is like noticing a single heartbeat in the middle of an ocean. Yet we have done it. In 2015, for the first time, humanity heard the universe move. The Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory LIGO recorded the signal of two black holes merging 1 billion light-years away. It lasted less than a second, a faint chirp of space-time itself. That tiny pulse proved Einstein right and opened a new sense with which to explore reality. Since then, dozens of such waves have been captured. Collisions of black holes, neutron stars, and other cosmic giants. Each one carries the story of a place and time we will never see. Unlike light, which can be absorbed or blocked, gravitational waves pass through everything untouched. They bring us whispers from the heart of the darkest events, from the collapse of stars, from the fusion of matter so dense it distorts time. When we listen to them, we are not hearing sound but rhythm, the heartbeat of the universe itself. Imagine floating in the dark, far from any star. You feel nothing, see nothing, but all around you space itself expands and contracts, ever so slightly like the breath of some vast living being. That's what gravitational waves do. They make the cosmos pulse. Each one is a message written in motion, spreading outward forever. Long after the galaxies that created them fade, their waves continue carrying the memory of those vanished worlds. Within the Milky Way, these ripples pass unnoticed. Our galaxy is full of binary stars, pairs locked in eternal orbit, spinning around each other so tightly that over time they lose energy through gravitational radiation. That loss pulls them closer, until eventually they merge in a brilliant burst of energy. The waves from those events wash through us constantly. We don't feel them, but they move through our bodies, our planets, our hearts. Every second we are touched by countless invisible tides, each one a story written in the grammar of gravity. On a larger scale, entire galaxies can merge, sending out waves that ripple across millions of light years. These cosmic vibrations travel through the dark matter web, through voids, through clusters, knitting the universe together in motion. They don't fade easily. A wave born billions of years ago can still be traveling today, crossing the Milky Way this very moment, passing through you as gently as a sigh. Gravitational waves don't just tell us about the past, they let us see what light cannot. When black holes collide, no light escapes, no explosion flares. Yet the waves they create shake space itself. By studying those ripples, scientists can measure the mass and spin of the black holes the moment they joined and the energy they released. In that brief instant, each merger can radiate more power than all the stars in the observable universe combined. Yet almost all of it leaves as silent waves. There's something humbling in that image. A universe full of motion, yet nearly silent. We are surrounded by waves that never make a sound, carrying stories we can barely decode. The cosmos speaks softly in a language of curves and vibrations, and we are only just beginning to listen. You can think of these waves like music too slow for human ears. Each one has a frequency, some vibrate once every second, others once every year, others slower still. Together, they form a cosmic symphony that has been playing since time began. The instruments are black holes, neutron stars, galaxies, and the conductor is gravity. The score stretches across billions of years, and we small and brief are only now joining the audience. One day, with more sensitive detectors, we may be able to map the entire gravitational landscape of the universe. We'll hear the faint bassline of ancient events, the merging of primordial black holes, the flutter of newborn stars, even the first ripples from the Big Bang itself. Somewhere within that deep background hum lies the origin of everything. But for now, it's enough to know that even in the stillness of night, you are moving through a universe alive with motion. Every atom in your body rides those waves. They pass through mountains, oceans, cities, and hearts, leaving no trace except the softest reminder that nothing is truly still. So as you drift towards sleep, imagine those ripples brushing gently against you, waves from 1 billion years ago passing through your room, through your dreams. They have crossed galaxies to find you. They have never made a sound, yet they sing the oldest song there is, the quiet proof that everything, even space itself, can move and be moved. Every night, the Milky Way glows across the sky, soft and silver, a familiar sight to the human eye. But what we see is only one note in a vast symphony of light. The galaxy doesn't just shine in visible colors. It sings across the entire electromagnetic spectrum, from the longest radio waves to the shortest bursts of gamma radiation. Each wavelength reveals a different voice, a new layer of the story. To truly see the Milky Way, you must listen to all of its light at once. Imagine that your eyes could change at will, that you could tune them like an instrument. First, you begin with the light you already know, the visible Milky Way, the one your ancestors saw and named, appears as a soft band of milky white. It's beautiful, but deceptive. The dark patches that break it apart are not empty space. They are clouds of dust blocking the glow of stars behind them. Our eyes are too limited to see through them. So let's shift the wavelength. Now you see in infrared the realm of warmth and softness. Suddenly, the darkness vanishes. The dust that once hid the stars becomes transparent, and the galaxy blazes into view. Great arches of light trace the spiral arms, and in their midst are nebulae glowing with the heat of newborn suns. This is the Milky Way's maternal light, the glow of creation itself. Infrared vision lets us witness the hidden labor of the cosmos, where cold gas ignites and gives birth to stars. But if you tune lower to radio waves, the view changes again. Now you see the skeleton of the galaxy, immense filaments of hydrogen gas stretching across tens of thousands of light years. These are the veins through which the Milky Way breathes. Radio telescopes like the one at Arecibo or the arrays spread across deserts and mountains trace these invisible patterns, mapping the motion of gas that keeps the galaxy alive. The stars are quiet at these frequencies, but the interstellar medium hums with energy, whispering stories of movement, rotation, and magnetic fields. Shift higher into ultraviolet, and the galaxy becomes fierce and young. You see the hot blue light of newborn stars blazing so intensely that they strip electrons from surrounding atoms. This is the restless light of youth, wild and impatient, shaping the clouds around it with radiation and wind. Ultraviolet light reveals the raw power of stellar birth, bright clusters wrapped in glowing halos, each star burning its fuel in defiance of time. Then comes X-ray light, sharp and ethereal. The peaceful spiral you saw before now flares with violence. Supernovas bloom like firecrackers frozen in mid-air, their shockwaves sending waves of heat across space. Binary stars tear at each other, stealing mass, shining as X-ray beacons. Near the galactic center, streams of gas swirl toward the black hole, heated until they glow with invisible flame. This is the Milky Way's high, trembling note, the music of extremes. And beyond that, in the most energetic part of the spectrum, lies gamma radiation. Here the galaxy becomes nearly unrecognizable, a web of intense flashes and bursts. Gamma rays mark the death of the heaviest stars, the jets of matter ejected from black holes, and the strange annihilations of particles we can't yet explain. These fleeting pulses are the drumbeats of creation and destruction, rare, brief, and powerful enough to illuminate the universe itself for a heartbeat. Each wavelength is a different instrument in the Milky Way's orchestra, and together they play the cosmic symphony we call light. Where one range ends, another begins blending seamlessly into the next. The galaxy doesn't speak in words, but in energy, in waves, and frequencies, in pulses and flares. It is a living harmony of radiation, and we, for all our fragility, are one of its listening organs. Modern telescopes allow us to layer these wavelengths together, creating composite portraits of the Milky Way. In those images, the galaxy becomes a multicolored masterpiece. Red dust, blue stars, golden arcs of radio waves, and violet bursts of X-rays. Each color tells a story of birth, decay, and renewal. To look at such an image is to realize that beauty isn't confined to what our eyes can see. It extends far beyond the limits of our perception. Even our planet hums with echoes of that light. Cosmic rays, high-energy particles born in the Milky Way's most violent events, strike Earth's atmosphere every second, creating showers of secondary particles that fall upon us like invisible rain. They pass through you as you read this harmless, yet ancient, carrying with them the fingerprints of distant stars. They are the galaxy's silent visitors, reminders that we live within its radiant breath. And somewhere between all these wavelengths lies the small band our eyes evolved to see, the narrow window of visible light. It's easy to forget how lucky that is. The light of the sun filtered through Earth's air matches perfectly what our biology can perceive. The Milky Way, in all its complexity, has made us to see it, to know it, to feel its glow. We are tuned to its song without even realizing it. So tonight, as you gaze at the faint shimmer of the Milky Way across the sky, remember that you're seeing only one thread of a much larger tapestry. Beyond what your eyes can catch, the galaxy is alive with energy, with whispers and roars, with warmth and fire, with signals older than life itself. The night is not silent. It sings in radio and infrared, in ultraviolet, and X-ray, in the soft vibration of particles that touch your skin. You are bathed in that music every moment of your life, even as you sleep. And perhaps that is the most extraordinary thing of all, that in the great symphony of the Milky Way, every one of us is both listener and note, a tiny spark of consciousness glowing within the music of light. Imagine a world with no sunrise, no star to orbit, no warmth to call its own, only eternal night, an ocean of darkness stretching in every direction. Yet such worlds exist. They are called rogue planets, and they drift alone through the Milky Way, homeless and silent, wandering between the stars. Some may have once orbited suns like ours before being flung away by the chaos of gravity. Others may have formed in isolation, never knowing the light of a parent star. They are the galaxy's exiles, lost travelers in an endless sea. Astronomers estimate that there may be billions of these worlds in our galaxy alone, perhaps more than the number of stars themselves. Some are the size of Jupiter, others no bigger than Earth. A few may still glow faintly with leftover heat from their birth, while most are cold and invisible, detectable only by the way they bend starlight as they pass. If you could drift beside one, you'd see a frozen sphere, silhouetted against eternity, illuminated only by the dim glow of distant galaxies. And yet these wanderers are not lifeless. Beneath their frozen crusts, geothermal heat might still stir oceans of liquid water, shielded from the cold by layers of rock and ice. Life, if it exists, there would never see the sky. It would grow in darkness, guided by chemistry alone, a secret ecosystem thriving without sunlight. In that sense, even the loneliest worlds may carry warmth, even hope. But rogue planets are not the only wanderers in the Milky Way. There are rogue stars too, suns ejected from their birthplaces by gravitational encounters. Sometimes a star in a binary system explodes as a supernova, flinging its companion away at hundreds of kilometers per second. Other times, collisions between clusters send stars hurtling into interstellar space. Once expelled, they travel through the dark between galaxies, burning alone for billions of years. Imagine a single sun drifting forever, with no orbit, no sky, no home, a lantern lost in an infinite night. Closer to us, within the spiral arms of the Milky Way, countless smaller wanderers drift through the interstellar medium: comets, asteroids, icy fragments, clouds of gas. They carry the raw materials of life, the same molecules that formed on Earth: water, carbon, organic compounds. Some are remnants from the galaxy's earliest days. Others are the ashes of dead stars. Every grain of dust that floats between the stars holds within it the memory of creation. When that dust settles on a planet, it may begin again a chain of life continuing across eons. One such traveler, Oumuamua, passed through our solar system in 2017. It was the first known interstellar object to visit us, a dark, elongated body speeding past at 315,000 kilometers per hour. It came from somewhere far beyond, and after a brief, silent encounter with the sun, it slipped away into space once more. No one knows where it came from or where it goes. Perhaps it was a fragment of a broken world, a shard from another star's debris. Or perhaps it was something stranger, a messenger from a place we can only imagine. The Milky Way itself is full of such wanderers moving unseen through its spiral arms. Between the great rivers of stars lie vast stretches of interstellar space regions, hundreds of light years wide, filled with tenuous gas magnetic fields and drifting dust. These are the galaxy's interstellar highways, and the wanderers are its travelers. Some drift slowly, others race at unimaginable speeds, but all follow the gentle pull of gravity's tides. If you could watch from above, the galaxy would look alive, not a static picture, but a living flow of motion. Stars orbiting the core clusters, swirling gas clouds, twisting planets flung from one system into another. Over billions of years, these movements weave the fabric of the Milky Way. Every orbit, every collision, every stray fragment contributes to the silent choreography. Nothing is truly still. Even the emptiness between stars is a river of drifting things. The sun itself, though we think of it as fixed, is also a wanderer. It moves through the galaxy at 828,000 kilometers per hour, carrying Earth and the other planets with it. In its wake, the solar system leaves a long trail of magnetized particles, a comet-shaped bubble called the heliosphere. Beyond it lies interstellar space, where the sun's influence fades and the true dark begins. Voyager 1, launched in 1977, has now crossed that threshold. Its antennas still whisper faintly across the void. A human-made wanderer, traveling forever between the stars. Perhaps that is what unites all wanderers, stars, planets, and people alike. We are all in motion, all searching for something, even if we do not know what. The galaxy's drift mirrors the journey within us, a longing to move, to find connection in a universe that seems so empty. Yet the emptiness is deceptive. The spaces between stars are not void, but potential. Within them float the seeds of new worlds waiting for gravity to gather them again. If you could drift beside one of those rogue planets, you might find its surface covered in frozen oceans, faint auroras dancing at the poles as it moves through the galactic magnetic field. Beneath the ice, hydrothermal vents might spew warmth into black seas, feeding life that has never seen light. You might find that the stars, though distant, still cast their gentle glow, painting the night in faint silver arcs. Even here in the loneliest places, the galaxy leaves its mark. every wanderer eventually becomes part of something greater. A rogue star may one day fall into a new system. A fragment of ice may join the birth of a planet. A comet may bring water to a barren world. In time, nothing remains lost. The Milky Way gathers all back into itself, weaving even its stray travelers into the pattern of renewal. So as you drift towards sleep, imagine yourself as one of those wanderers, weightless, free, gliding between the stars. You are not lost, you are part of the flow. The galaxy is moving, and you are moving with it. The light that guides you is faint, but it is enough. In the endless night, every wanderer shines not by its own light, but by the quiet reflection of all that surrounds it. If the Earth has its spring and winter, the Milky Way has its own seasons too, though they unfold not in months or years, but in ages. The galaxy breathes in cycles. Stars are born, they shine, they die, and from their ashes, new stars rise again. It is a rhythm that stretches across billions of years, written not in weather or color, but in light. Every sunrise you've ever seen is just one flicker in that grand cosmic year. To understand these seasons, you must first let go of time as you know it. A galactic spring might last 2 billion years. A summer could span 5. And winter, the quiet age when the galaxy rests, when stars grow old and the skies dim, might endure longer than all of human history multiplied by 1,000. Yet, even so, the Milky Way keeps its pulse. It is never truly still. In its youth, billions of years ago, our galaxy was wild. Clouds of hydrogen and helium swirled through the darkness, collapsing under their own weight to form the first generations of stars. These were enormous, hundreds of times the mass of our sun, burning bright and dying fast. Their deaths seeded the galaxy with heavier elements, the building blocks of everything to come. You could think of that age as cosmic spring, when everything was new and bursting with creation. As time passed, those explosions gave birth to summer, a long era of balance. The spiral arms stabilized. Star formation became gentler steady. Nebulae like Orion and Carina shimmered like meadows of light blooming with young suns. It was during this season that the sun itself was born about 4.6 billion years ago in a cluster of siblings that has long since drifted apart. Summer was the galaxy's golden age, the time of abundance, of warmth, of life. But even stars cannot burn forever. In the distant future, the Milky Way's summer will end. The interstellar gas that feeds star formation will thin, consumed by countless generations of suns. Starbirth will slow, and the galaxy will begin to fade. Giants will cool into dwarfs. Supernovas will grow rare. The blue-white light of youth will dim into red, soft and low. This will be autumn, a beautiful decline, not an ending, but a transformation. Autumn in the galaxy will last trillions of years. Slowly, the spiral arms will lose their glow. The remaining stars will orbit in silence, and the nebulae that once blazed with creation will disperse into the dark. Yet even then, the Milky Way will not die. Its heart will still beat faint, patient, eternal. The black hole at its center will continue to hum, gathering stray stars, shaping the last faint orbits of its realm. And after autumn comes winter, the age of cooling and stillness. By then, most stars will have faded into white dwarfs, their light weak but enduring. The galaxy will become a place of faint embers, glowing softly against a black sky. Planets, if they still exist, will drift in darkness, warmed only by the memory of the suns that once held them. But even in that frozen age, movement will continue. Gravity will still weave its patterns. Black holes will merge, stars will collide, and sparks of light will occasionally flare, small echoes of an earlier time. Winter will last far longer than all that came before. Eventually, even the white dwarfs will cool to darkness, becoming black dwarfs, stars turn to stone. The Milky Way will be filled with silence. Yet to call it death would be wrong. It will be rest, the deep sleep of a universe that has given everything it had. And then perhaps something new will happen. Some cosmologists believe that quantum fluctuations, the tiniest vibrations of reality itself, could one day awaken the cold remnants of dead stars, triggering new bursts of fusion. If so, the galaxy's winter would give way to another spring, a rebirth, not of stars as we know them, but of new physics, new forms of light. Even at the end of everything, the universe may still find a way to begin again. We will not be there to see it. Humanity's story, even if it lasts 1,000,000 years, is but a whisper in the Milky Way's song. And yet somehow, we have arrived during one of its most beautiful seasons, the late summer of light, when the galaxy glows brightest. Stars are still forming, planets are still plentiful, and life has just begun to open its eyes. We are living in the season of abundance, unaware of how brief and precious it truly is. If you could speed up time, you'd see the Milky Way change, like a flower blooming and fading in slow motion. The arms would pulse with light, then dim, then flare again. Clouds would come and go, colors shifting from blue to gold to red. The galaxy's seasons would unfold, not in years, but in hues, the blush of youth, the gold of maturity, the crimson of twilight. And through it all, the same rhythm would continue: birthlight, silence, rebirth. The universe has always known how to repeat itself, and so perhaps it never truly ends. Every winter is only a prelude to another dawn. So tonight, as you rest under the sky, think of yourself as part of that vast cycle. You are living through the galaxy's summer one bright day in its eternal year. The warmth you feel from the sun is the echo of cosmic spring, the promise of life written in the stars. And though the universe may one day grow cold, the memory of light, the idea of it, will remain. Because every season, no matter how long or strange, begins again somewhere. Even galaxies dream of spring. Picture yourself drifting outward through the Milky Way, leaving the bright spiral arms behind. The stars grow thinner, the gas clouds fewer, until their soft glow fades into the distance. The galaxy no longer feels crowded. It feels vast and quiet. You are approaching the edge, not a wall or a boundary, but a slow unraveling where starlight dissolves into emptiness. The Milky Way's visible disk stretches for about 100,000 light-years. Yet its halo, a faint sphere of scattered stars, clusters, and dark matter, extends far beyond that, perhaps 1,000,000 light-years in diameter. There is no sharp line between galaxy and void. Instead, there is a gradual fading, like the last whisper of a song as it disappears into silence. If you could stand there, looking back, you would see the galaxy as a glowing spiral, suspended in blackness, its arms curling delicately, a silver flower floating in the night. At the edge, time feels different. The light from the galactic core takes hundreds of thousands of years to reach you. The center you once called now is already history. The glow you see is ancient, a memory still traveling outward. Here, everything is slower, quieter. The density of matter falls away until only a few lone stars remain, like lanterns scattered across a dark plain. Beyond them lies the deep intergalactic medium, a near-perfect vacuum where only the rarest atoms drift. Some of those outermost stars are halo stars, ancient survivors from the early days of the galaxy. They orbit far above and below the spiral disk, moving through long looping paths that take billions of years to complete. They are older than the Sun, older even than many of the spiral arms themselves. Some were born in galaxies long since absorbed, carrying their original chemistry like a signature traces of magnesium and iron forged before the Milky Way existed as we know it. They are the elders of our stellar family, keeping watch from the edge. Among them float the globular clusters, spherical gatherings of hundreds of thousands of stars, bound tightly by gravity like glowing beads in the galactic halo. These clusters are fossils from the dawn of time. Many are over 12 billion years old, nearly as ancient as the universe itself. Through telescopes, they shimmer like jewels, dense and perfect, each one a miniature galaxy of its own. To travel through one would be like crossing a diamond storm stars so close together that their light would merge into a single golden glow. Beyond the clusters, the Milky Way's light begins to thin until it becomes a haze of distant sparks. Here, the dark matter halo dominates an invisible ocean that holds the galaxy together. It stretches outward unseen until its gravity fades into the background pull of the local group, our cluster of neighboring galaxies. This region is like a cosmic archipelago, the Milky Way Andromeda, the Magellanic Clouds, and dozens of tiny dwarfs all drifting together through the deep sea of space. The edge of the galaxy is not a place of endings, but of perspective. When you look back, you can see the Milky Way for what it truly is, a single island among countless others. Beyond it lie the great walls and filaments of the cosmic web, where galaxies form clusters and superclusters, connected by invisible strings of gravity. From this vantage point, the Milky Way is both everything and nothing, a bright swirl in an ocean of endless spirals. And yet, even here, far from the heart, you are still part of it. The gravity that binds the outermost stars also binds you. The light that began its journey at the core eventually reaches this far dim but unbroken. The galaxy is not something you live in. It is something you are woven into. You are part of its edge and its center, its light and its shadow. It's easy to imagine the edge as lonely, but it's not. Even here, faint streams of gas flow inward, feeding the galaxy's slow renewal. Stray stars wander through travelers from other systems or remnants of ancient mergers. Every so often, a comet from deep space crosses this frontier, bringing traces of another world. The edge is not an ending, it's a frontier of connection, where one galaxy's halo overlaps with another's and the universe begins to blur. If you drift a little farther beyond the pull of the Milky Way's gravity, you would begin to feel the tug of Andromeda, our sister galaxy, 2.5 million light-years away. Her light would appear as a faint smudge, yet she too is surrounded by a halo, and those two halos are already touching. The edges of our galaxies are already meeting, whispering across the void, preparing for the embrace that will one day merge them. Even now, the boundary between them is not a line, but a dialogue, a slow, graceful negotiation between giants. Astronomers sometimes call this outer region the galactic frontier. It is where our maps end, where the known fades into the unknown. But there is beauty in that uncertainty. The edge of the galaxy is also the edge of imagination, the place where science and wonder meet. Beyond it lies only potential waiting to be discovered. So as you lie beneath the night sky and trace the faint curve of the Milky Way, remember that somewhere out there, its last stars are still shining guardians at the border of the known. Their light is faint, but it continues reaching farther than we will ever travel. The edge of the galaxy is not a wall. It is a horizon, one that forever invites us to look beyond, to wonder what waits in the next sea of stars. And maybe that's what the Milky Way has always been teaching us, that every boundary is only a beginning in disguise. The Milky Way, for all its motion and majesty, is not fixed in space. It sails, it drifts. It is one traveler among billions gliding through the cosmic ocean on a journey that began before stars even had names. Every one of its arms, every one of its stars, including our sun, moves with it, following the quiet pull of gravity through the vast dark. Though we think of the galaxy as home, it too is adrift, bound not to stillness, but to movement carried along by the invisible tides of the universe. Right now, our entire galaxy is speeding toward a point in space called the Great Attractor. a gravitational anomaly, roughly 250 million light-years away. The Milky Way, Andromeda, and thousands of other galaxies are flowing toward it together, drawn by the combined mass of something colossal, clusters upon clusters of galaxies, tangled in a web of gravity. No one knows exactly what lies at the center of that pull. We only know that space itself seems to slope that way, and we, like water on a tilted plane, are sliding down. If you could watch from afar, the motion would look like a grand ballet. The Milky Way rotates around its center once every 230 million years, while, at the same time, the entire local group glides through space at nearly 2.2 million kilometers per hour. Our spiral galaxy spins and drifts simultaneously like a dancer turning while drifting across the stage. To us it feels still, but that stillness is an illusion created by scale, the same illusion that hides the Earth's motion around the Sun and the Sun's motion through the arm of Orion. Everything moves, always. The cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, gives us a way to measure that motion. When scientists look in one direction, they see the light slightly blue-shifted, compressed as if we're moving toward it. In the opposite direction, the light stretches red. This tells us that the Milky Way is hurtling through space relative to the ancient light of the universe itself. Even compared to the oldest radiation we can see, we are never at rest. Within our own cluster, the local group, the Milky Way, and Andromeda are the main players in this slow drift. They orbit one another like two immense whirlpools drawn closer by gravity every passing second. In about 4 billion years, they will meet, spiral together, and merge. Their stars will not crash, but mingle. Their gas clouds will collide, birthing waves of new suns. From that union will rise a single larger galaxy, perhaps an elliptical one, calm and golden, a monument to motion. You could think of this drift as destiny. Every galaxy is falling toward another, every cluster toward something larger, and every motion toward equilibrium that never quite arrives. The universe is expansion and attraction in balance, a vast, slow breathing that never stops. We are part of that breath, inhaling with the galaxies, exhaling with the stars. And yet, despite all this movement, we experience perfect calm. The constellations change only over tens of thousands of years. The Big Dipper slowly reshapes. Orion's belt drifts apart. Civilizations rise and vanish, and still the sky looks the same. The galaxy's drift is too immense for our senses to notice. If we could speed up time, we'd see the stars swirl like glowing dust, spiraling around the galactic core, sliding through space as a single luminous tide. But from where we stand, it feels like eternity. This great drift does more than carry us. It connects us. The same gravitational flows that pull our galaxy also guide others, threading them together into superclusters. Enormous filaments of light, stretching hundreds of millions of light years. Astronomers call one of these the Laniakea supercluster Hawaiian, for immeasurable heaven. The Milky Way lives within it, one bright curl, among 1,000,000 others, all drifting toward the same invisible center. We are part of a structure so large that it defies imagination, a continent of galaxies adrift in an expanding sea. What happens beyond Laniakea? Beyond that, the drift continues. Everything is moving outward with the expansion of space itself. Galaxies beyond a certain distance are receding so fast that their light will never reach us. One day, billions of years from now, even the nearest galaxies will fade from view, carried beyond our cosmic horizon. The Milky Way's descendants, whatever they may be, will look out into darkness and think they are alone. But they won't be. They'll simply be surrounded by light that can no longer reach them, like a ship sailing beyond the last visible wave. It's strange to think that the very ground of the cosmos is in motion. and yet that motion is what allows everything to exist. If the universe ever stopped expanding, gravity would pull it all back together into a single point of fire. If it expanded too quickly, galaxies would never have formed. The drift keeps the balance, a cosmic equilibrium between falling and flying. Perhaps that's why the idea of drifting feels so human. We too are always moving through years, through lives, through dreams. We search for stillness, for home, yet find that movement itself is home. Like the Milky Way, we belong to the journey, not the destination. So as you listen now, imagine yourself not as someone lying still under the stars, but as someone gliding with them across the silent ocean of time. Every cell in your body, every photon on your skin, every heartbeat is carried by that same drift. You are traveling at millions of kilometers per hour, yet you feel peace. That's the secret of the great galactic drift, that motion and serenity are not opposites, they are one. The stars are never still, and yet the night is calm. The universe moves, and yet it rests. And you, a single flicker of awareness, riding on the arm of a spiral galaxy, are both the traveler and the stillness itself. Far beyond the quiet of tonight's sky, something enormous is approaching. Two galaxies, ours and Andromeda, are falling toward each other across the dark. The distance between them is 2.5 million light-years. But that space is closing slow, as breath-steady as destiny. The pull began billions of years ago, long before the sun existed, and it will not stop until they meet. In roughly 4 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will collide and merge, transforming forever the sky we now know. It will start invisibly with their halos, vast spheres of dark matter that already overlap. Invisible particles from each galaxy are intermingling right now, weaving a bridge between them. The two great disks are still far apart, but their gravitational dance has already begun. Andromeda, seen tonight as a faint smudge through telescopes, is speeding toward us at 4,000,000 kilometers per hour. She looks peaceful, but she is coming. If you could see it happen in fast motion, it would look like a slow waltz of titans. The galaxies would stretch toward each other, their shapes distorting like clouds caught in a wind. Long tails of stars and gas would peel away, drawn into glowing arcs that bridge the space between them. At first, the collision would not be destructive. Space is mostly empty, and stars are far apart. When the disks overlap, most suns will simply pass by one another, missing by light years. But their gravity will ripple through both systems, bending orbits, awakening dormant nebulae, and sparking waves of starbirth. From Earth, if Earth still exists, the view will be spectacular. The sky will blossom with arcs of light. Andromeda will swell over centuries, growing from a faint oval to a magnificent whirl, filling half the heavens. As the two galaxies merge, the night will shimmer with double spirals and rivers of fire. Every horizon will hold stars, and the Milky Way band will twist into a luminous storm. For the beings who may still live here, it will be a sight of terrifying beauty, the universe painting with both hands at once. Eventually, over hundreds of millions of years, the two galaxies will entwine completely. Their central black holes will circle each other like dark suns, drawing closer until they merge in a final burst of gravitational waves that echo through space and time. The result will not be ruin, but rebirth. A single larger galaxy, an immense elliptical system, glowing softly with the combined light of 1 trillion stars. Astronomers have already given it a name, Milky, the child of the Milky Way and Andromeda. In that future sky, there will be no familiar constellations. The patterns we know, Orion, Cassiopeia, the Big Dipper, will be gone, their stars scattered into new positions. The sun, if it still burns, will have drifted into a new orbit, perhaps far from the merged core, perhaps lost to the halo, but it will still shine for another few billion years, a quiet remnant of the time before. Any beings who look up then will see not a band across the heavens but a full dome of light, a galaxy turned inside out. Though it sounds cataclysmic, the collision is a kind of homecoming. The Milky Way and Andromeda are siblings born from the same ancient cloud of matter. Their meeting is simply the next chapter in a story that began long ago. Every large galaxy we see has been shaped by such unions. Collisions are how the cosmos grows. Without them, there would be no spirals, no stars like ours, no planets to wonder at the night. Destruction in the scale of galaxies is simply creation written in another key. The merger will change the rhythm of the local group. The smaller companions, the Magellanic Clouds, the dwarf galaxies scattered around us will be drawn inward, feeding the newborn system. Over time, Milky will settle into calm, its stars moving in smooth orbits, its core glowing golden with age. The great spirals will fade, replaced by soft ellipses of light. It will be a quieter, gentler galaxy, older, wiser, waiting for the next tide of change. What will the universe look like then? By the time the collision is complete, the expansion of space will have carried most other galaxies far beyond visibility. The new galaxy will float in apparent solitude, surrounded by darkness, but that darkness will not be empty. It will be full of memories of stars that once shone beside us, of light that still travels even though its source has long vanished. The beings who inherit that world may think they are alone, yet they will live inside the echo of everything that ever was. And maybe that is the true beauty of this coming collision. It reminds us that endings are never final. Two galaxies will vanish, but something new will take their place. The light of our stars will mix with Andromeda's, our histories becoming one. Every atom of Earth, every molecule of air will be carried forward into the next shape of the cosmos. We are not watching a death, but a transformation, the galaxy turning the page. So as you breathe now beneath this quiet sky, remember that even stillness is temporary. The heavens are moving slowly but surely toward reunion. One day long after we are gone, the descendants of our world, whoever or whatever they may be, will look up and see two spirals merging into one, and they will know what we once dreamed, that everything in the universe is connected, drawn together by an invisible longing to return. The Milky Way is not falling apart. It is falling into its future, and in that embrace, all that we are will continue changed, luminous and endless. Every night, when you lift your eyes to the Milky Way, you are not seeing the present. You are looking into memory, the soft afterglow of things that once were. Each photon that touches your eyes began its journey long ago, crossing unimaginable distances and epochs. The starlight you see tonight is ancient. It carries within it the memory of the universe's youth. A beam of light travels fast, 3,0,0,0,0,0 kilometers every second. But the galaxy is vast beyond measure. Even the nearest stars are light years away. The faintest ones, the ones that make the Milky Way's silver mist, began their journeys tens of thousands of years ago. Many of their sources are gone now, burned out or transformed, yet their light continues. The night sky is a graveyard of beautiful ghosts, and the glow we see is their last whisper. This memory of starlight connects everything. When you look at a star, you are witnessing a moment that ended before human civilization began. Some of that light left its home, while mammoths still walked the earth. Some left when there was no earth at all. We live surrounded by echoes, radiation from stars, from galaxies, from the very beginning of time. Light is the universe remembering itself. The oldest memory of all comes from the cosmic microwave background, the faint radiation that fills the entire sky. It is the afterglow of the Big Bang stretched into microwaves by the expansion of space. When radio telescopes tune to that frequency, they hear the universe's first breath light that has been traveling for 13.8 billion years. That glow touches everything, even you. When your skin feels the faint warmth of the night air, a tiny fraction of that warmth comes from photons that began their journey when time itself was new. Inside the Milky Way, memories are written in light of every color. Blue stars blaze with youth, their light fierce and brief. Red giants glow with age, their warmth soft and steady. Supernovas flare like sudden shouts, leaving behind faint nebulae that continue to glow for millennia. Each color is a word in the language of time, telling us who the stars were, what they became, and what they left behind. The galaxy is not a picture, it's a recording, a million overlapping exposures that together tell a single story. I was here. I shone. Even the light that never reaches us still leaves its mark. Dust scatters it, gas absorbs it, magnetic fields twist it. The universe keeps the imprint of every photon that has ever existed. Some become trapped in atoms, some re-emerge as heat, some travel forever into the dark. Not one is truly lost. The cosmos is a vast archive, and starlight is its memory written across the void. When astronomers study distant stars, they aren't just gathering data, they're listening to old conversations. A star's spectrum tells its temperature, its age, its composition. It reveals whether it's moving toward us or away, whether it's alone or part of a family. Each photon is a messenger, bearing the fingerprint of its origin. Together they form a cosmic diary, written not in ink, but in color. There's poetry in the idea that light outlives its source. A star can collapse into darkness, yet its light may still be crossing the galaxy, reaching worlds that did not exist when it began its journey. In that sense, nothing luminous ever truly disappears. Its echo lingers, finding new eyes to awaken long after the original flame has faded. The night sky is full of such resurrections, the past continuing to exist in the present. Our own light too will travel on. Every beam that leaves Earth, every radio signal, every flicker of technology, every reflected glint of sunlight from our oceans and clouds, all of it escapes into space. 100 light years from now, our electromagnetic signature will reach other stars. 10,000 years from now, it will brush the edges of distant nebulae. Long after humanity is gone, the record of our brief moment will still move outward, a sphere of light expanding forever. Somewhere, perhaps another intelligence will see it, decode it, and learn that once in a quiet arm of a spiral galaxy, there were beings who looked up and wondered about the stars. If you could see all the light that has ever touched you, it would form a tapestry around your life. Sunlight reflected off a lake, moonlight caught in your eyes, the faint shimmer of Venus in dawn's haze. All of it is starlight, old and reborn. The atoms in your skin once absorbed that light and stored it as warmth. You are not just illuminated by the cosmos, you are made from it. The calcium in your bones, the carbon in your breath, the iron in your blood, all forged in stars, all carried here by light. When you smile, when you dream, when you love the stars, remember through you. Sometimes, when you gaze into the Milky Way, it feels like looking backward into time, into memory, but it's also looking forward. Every photon leaving your eyes now will travel outward forever. In a few billion years, your light will reach another galaxy. Someone somewhere might one day see it, a tiny pulse of reflection from an ancient world, and know that once this place was alive. So as you lie beneath the stars tonight, let the memory of light hold you. Everything that has ever shone is still shining, still crossing the dark. Every glow you see is a story that refuses to end. The universe keeps nothing for itself. It sends everything outward endlessly. And you too are part of that journey. You are not just watching the Milky Way's light, you are returning it. You are one more spark in the galaxy's long memory, one more flash of awareness in the ocean of time. The light that fills your eyes tonight will keep traveling long after the stars themselves fade. In the end, That may be what eternity truly means, not living forever, but being seen forever. There comes a moment when you've drifted far enough through thought that the Milky Way no longer feels like a distant thing. It feels like home, not the way a city or a house is home, but something deeper, quieter, older. The galaxy is not outside of you, it's within you. You carry its history in your bones, its light in your blood, its rhythm in your breath. Every heartbeat is an echo of the stars. For thousands of years, humans have looked up and wondered where we belong in the vastness. The sky has been a mirror for that question. At first, we imagined the heavens as something separate, a divine place above our reach. Later, we learned the truth: we were never apart from it. The Milky Way isn't the stage on which our story unfolds. It is the story, and we are one of its many lines. From the outside, our galaxy is a spiral of hundreds of billions of stars. But from the inside, it's something much more intimate. A field of light that cradles every planet, every world, every dream that life has dared to imagine. On one of those worlds, a species evolved eyes, capable of seeing starlight, hands capable of reaching toward it, and minds capable of understanding what it means to exist in such immensity. That species is us, and that realization, that awareness, is how the Milky Way knows itself. When you stand beneath the night sky, you're standing inside a miracle of scale. You are small, yes, but not insignificant. The atoms in your body were born in ancient suns. The water that flows through you was once vapor in nebulae. The warmth that fills your chest when you see the stars is not separate from the warmth that powers them. You are made of the same material, shaped by the same forces, driven by the same hunger to shine. Think of what it means that we can even speak of galaxies, that we can build instruments, send telescopes into orbit, capture photons that have traveled across time. The universe through us has developed the ability to look back at itself, to ask questions, to dream, to love. The Milky Way has grown eyes, and they are ours. Perhaps that's why starlight feels familiar. When you look up, you're not gazing at something foreign. You're recognizing your origin. You are remembering where you came from. Every civilization that has ever lived, from the first humans who painted constellations on cave walls to the astronomers mapping exoplanets today, has shared that same recognition. They all looked at the same river of stars and felt the same pull, a quiet, wordless belonging. Home, it turns out, is not a fixed place. It's a pattern, a relationship between what is and what remembers. The Earth is home because it carries our stories. The Milky Way is home because it carries our atoms. And beyond even that, the universe itself is home because there is nowhere else for us to be. We are not visitors here. We are the universe expressing itself briefly as thought and breath. When you look at the Milky Way, remember that it is looking back. The light that touches your eyes also touches it. You are part of the circuit, a moment of awareness flickering within a much larger consciousness of time and space. That's not poetry, it's physics. Energy moves, reorganizes, and awakens. And somehow through that awakening, the universe learns to feel awe. Someday, long after we are gone, the galaxy will continue its slow rotation. Stars will die, others will be born, worlds will rise and fall, and yet something of us will remain. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your breath, all will return to the stars, scattered, remade. A future being on a future world will inhale those same atoms and look up in wonder, just as you do now. The chain of belonging will never break. Our technology will fade, our languages will vanish, but our matter, our light will endure. Even now, radio waves from our world are spreading into the galaxy, faint ripples, expanding outward, carrying whispers of our existence. One day, those signals will reach other stars, other planets. Perhaps someone will listen, and in that moment, the Milky Way will remember us again. It's easy to feel small when you think about the scale of the galaxy. But smallness is not the same as insignificance. A single note can define a symphony. A single flicker can light the dark. You are one such flicker, fragile, temporary, and immeasurably precious. As you lie here, listening to this story, let yourself feel the truth of it. You are floating through the arm of a spiral galaxy, circling a modest yellow star, carried on a planet wrapped in air and water. Around you, billions of suns burn quietly. Beyond them, more galaxies spin. Beyond those, infinity hums softly to itself. And through all of it, something, call it life, call it consciousness, call it grace, continues to awaken. You are part of that awakening. You are the Milky Way dreaming of itself. So breathe. Let the weight of the world slip away. Let the rhythm of the galaxy match your heartbeat. The night above you isn't separate from the night within you. They are the same. Every flicker of starlight is a thought. Every thought, a spark. Every spark, a bridge between the infinite and the intimate. And when you finally close your eyes, drifting into sleep, know that the galaxy drifts with you. You are home, not on Earth, not even in the Milky Way, but in the vast, quiet continuum of existence itself. Here, in the endless ocean of stars, there is no end. Only motion, only memory, only light.